Hello and welcome to episode 172 of the Daily Sales Message, where every single day I share a piece of simple and actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff. In this episode, we're talking about seller's remorse. Now, you might be familiar with buyer's remorse, where somebody buys something, then they regret it because maybe they were talked into it or something like that, but they buy something and then, not sure, and they might ask for a refund or leave a bad review, or they're just not happy ultimately. That's buyer's remorse. What about seller's remorse? Seller's remorse is interesting. It does happen. Talked about a lot less, but it's important. Seller's remorse is when, let's say I do a deal with somebody and invoice them, they pay me, I start working with them, and then I realize that actually they're not a good fit for what I do. They're really high maintenance, they're actually a little bit rude to me. I'm not sure if I can actually help them. The problem is I've been so keen to make the money and to do the deal. I said yes to whatever I need to say yes to make the situation happen. And we've all been there. And now I'm regretting it. And I'm not sure. I have seller's remorse. Seller's remorse comes about because we have a little bit, and I'm going to use the word desperation. We have a little bit of desperation sometimes, particularly with cash flow and all these kind of things. We're like, need to sell something to somebody, need to get some money through the door. And we might say yes to things that we otherwise wouldn't say yes to. And we can live to regret it. And I'm pretty sure you've probably done that. I know I definitely have. Doesn't really happen anymore for me, thank God. But I know it has done in the past, and it's horrible. So today it's just a reminder, really, that however desperate you might be for the business or to do a deal, just remember that if you say yes to things that you're not sure about, you're not comfortable with, oftentimes it can cost you time and energy and money and maybe reputational damage and all sorts of things. It won't really go well. Listen to your gut. When was the last time you went against your gut and everything worked out fine? Doesn't really happen, does it? So with seller's remorse, two things that you can do. First one is you can have a qualification criteria or process where you say to somebody, we only work with businesses of this size in this industry with this problem or whatever. So we set a list of parameters where if they fall out of that, we just can't deal with them. Or we can just politely decline to work with somebody. James, I would really love to help you, but I'm not sure we're the right fit for you. I wouldn't want to let you down. I don't think we can deliver what you want. So I'll connect you to somebody else, or good luck or whatever, but not being afraid to actually turn people away. I know it sounds crazy if you're desperate for the business to turn people away, but ultimately it's much better for your confidence, for the reputation of your business, and for the buyer as well, that you don't just say yes and sell anything to anyone just because you need to, because that is where seller's remorse comes from. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Daily Sales Message. Tomorrow, episode 173. I mean, the title of the podcast means you probably don't even need to listen to it, but I'll tell you anyway. I guess I can't be intriguing in all of them, but tomorrow's title is Name It, Don't Explain It. Name it, don't explain it. I will explain more in tomorrow's episode. In the meantime, thanks for listening or watching all the way to the end. If you haven't already, hop on over to LinkedIn and connect with me there. Shoot me a DM if you want to. It's always really lovely to hear from listeners of the Daily Sales Message. That's it for this episode. I'll catch you tomorrow.